The first time Evelyn noticed the dizziness, she chalked it up to the heat. 72, fit, walked 3 miles daily, taught watercolor at the community center every Thursday. Her hands were steady, her mind sharp as a scalpel. She remembered her granddaughter's birthday and the name of the nurse who delivered her in 1978. But her daughter-in-law, Clara, started watching her. Not with concern, with calculation. It began subtly, a teacup placed just out of reach. "Let me do that, Mom, you seem tired." A canceled doctor's appointment. "Oh, Dr. Lang said it wasn't urgent. I rescheduled." Evelyn blinked. She'd requested that appointment routine blood work. She hadn't missed one in 12 years. Then came the pills. Small white tablets in a bottle labeled duloxetine, 60 milligrams for anxiety and cognitive support. Clara handed them over with breakfast. "Your new prescription. Dr. Lang said it'll help with the episodes." "Episodes?" Evelyn asked. Clara smiled warm, practiced. "The little lapses, you know, when you forget where you put your keys." Evelyn had misplaced her keys once, in March, 3 months ago. She took the pills because Clara had always been kind, because her son Daniel said, "Mom, just trust her. She wants what's best." What she didn't know, there was no new prescription. What she didn't see, Clara, that same afternoon, slipping Evelyn's actual lab results, normal thyroid, clean CBC, vitamin D, optimal, into the shredder. What she couldn't imagine, the forged referral letter already drafted, addressed to Cedar Pines Assisted Living. Patient exhibits frequent disorientation, short-term memory gaps, and mild paranoia. High fall risk. Strongly recommend supervised care. Signed, Dr. A. Lang, a signature copied from an old physical. The manipulation wasn't loud. It was quiet, precise, surgical. Clara knew the playbook. Isolate, medicate, even if placebo. Document fabricated decline, then present the inevitable solution as an act of love. Evelyn's world narrowed. Her walks shortened. Her painting classes stopped. Too much stimulation, Mom. Her friends? They tire you out. Phone calls were intercepted. Mail redirected. One evening, she found her calendar, the physical one she kept on the fridge, missing. In its place, a laminated weekly schedule, 7 a.m. wake meds, 8:30 a.m. light walk, patio only, 10 a.m. rest, 3 p.m. family check-in, no watercolor, no bridge club, no life. She sat at the kitchen table, hands folded, staring at the tile floor. A crack ran diagonally across one square. She'd noticed it years ago, meant to regrout it. But now, the crack felt like a fault line in her own mind. Am I losing it? Then a slip. Clara left her laptop open on the dining table. Evelyn, reaching for a glass, glimpsed an email draft. Subject: Next step, Cedar Pines assessment. Hi, Dr. Lang. Thanks for signing the eval request. As discussed, we'll proceed with the home visit next Tuesday. Mom's been more confused yesterday. She asked who I was. I'll have her forget to take her meds that morning, so symptoms are visible. Evelyn's breath stopped. She didn't move, didn't gasp, didn't cry. She simply closed the laptop. And for the first time in months, her hands didn't shake. That night, she didn't take the white pills.
She flushed them.
And she opened her real calendar, the one hidden in the back of her sewing box. The first entry, circled in red.
Tomorrow, annual physical. Dr. Lang, 10:15 a.m. Do not let them cancel.
She set 3 alarms.
She was still Evelyn Shaw, and she was done being erased.
The waiting room smelled of antiseptic and lavender hand sanitizer, familiar, safe. Evelyn arrived 20 minutes early, dressed in her navy linen suit, hair pinned neatly. She carried a folder. Not a purse. A folder. Inside. Every missed appointment confirmation retrieved online after Clara forgot to give her passwords back. A printed log of every lapse Clara had documented, cross-referenced with Evelyn's own journal entries. She had started a hidden one in shorthand. A photo. The white pills next to a pharmacist's label confirming no prescription was ever issued. Dr. Lang, a woman with kind eyes and silver-streaked braids, frowned as she reviewed the folder. Evelyn, this referral letter? The signature's a forgery. I never wrote this. She tapped the Cedar Pines document. And these symptoms? None match your actual records. Your cognition tests last year? Perfect score.
Evelyn exhaled slow, deep. The weight in her chest loosened, just a fraction. But why? She whispered.
Dr. Lang leaned forward. I've seen it before. Not often. But when it happens, it's always about control, or inheritance, or both. She pulled up Evelyn's real file on her screen. Evelyn Shaw, 72, Healthy Aging Protocol.
BP 118/76. HbA1c 5.1. MoCA. Score 30 out of 30.
Bone density T-score minus 0.8, normal.
Notes. Patient exceptionally lucid. Strong social engagement. No signs of dementia, depression, or neurological decline.
Evelyn traced the screen with her finger. 30 out of 30. Perfect. Then, Dr. Lang did something unexpected.
She printed the full file, signed and dated every page, added a stamped addendum, confidential psychiatric and neurological assessment. Patient Evelyn Shaw demonstrates intact executive function, long short-term memory, insight, and judgment. No evidence of cognitive impairment. Allegations of decline appear inconsistent with objective findings and may reflect external narrative influence. Dr. A. Lang, MD, Geriatric Medicine.
You keep this, she said, handing Evelyn the packet. And Evelyn, don't go home tonight. Evelyn didn't. She walked to the public library instead, reserved a private study room, plugged in her old laptop, the one Clara didn't know existed, kept at her neighbor's house.
She logged into her bank, her safe deposit box records, her legal portal. Then she called Miriam, her old friend from the watercolor group, retired lawyer, sharp as obsidian.
Miriam, Evelyn said, voice steady. I need your help. They're trying to put me in a home, and I think they've been drugging me with placebos to make me look ill. Miriam didn't gasp, didn't hesitate. Meet me at Café Noir. 1 hour. Bring the file. And Evelyn? A pause. Don't tell anyone where you're going.
At the cafe, Miriam read the forged referral, compared it to Dr. Lang's real assessment.
Classic undue influence, she murmured. They're building a paper trail to declare you incompetent. Once that's done, they control your assets, your care, your life. She slid a USB drive across the table.
Here's the first step. Go to St. Vincent's tomorrow. Ask for Dr. Chen in neurology. Say I sent you. He'll do an independent cognitive battery video recorded, time-stamped. No family allowed in the room, Evelyn nodded.
Then what? Then, Miriam said, eyes gleaming, we file a petition for protective order, not for you, for them. Restraining order against interference. Petition to freeze joint accounts. And we subpoena every email, text, and medical request Clara's sent in the last 6 months. She leaned in. Evelyn, they want you to seem fragile. So be quiet. Be still. Let them think they've won. But while they're planning your assessment, she tapped the USB.
And we're building your defense.
That night, Evelyn stayed at Miriam's guest room. She didn't sleep. She reviewed Cedar Pines' website.
Not for admission, for weaknesses. Their liability insurance, staffing ratios, a recent lawsuit, negligent supervision, resident fall. She took notes. The war hadn't started yet. But Evelyn, she was already 10 moves ahead. Tuesday morning, 9:45 a.m. Clara arrived early, bright-eyed, bearing croissants and a thermos of chamomile tea. Calming for the nerves, Mom. Evelyn sat in her armchair, bathrobe loosely tied, hair slightly disheveled. She held a teacup with both hands, letting it tremble just enough. Oh, Clara, I'm so glad you're here, she murmured, voice thin. I kept forgetting, was it today or tomorrow? Clara's smile widened just a fraction too fast. Today, Mom, Dr. Lang's sending someone. To help. Evelyn nodded slowly, set the cup down, missed the saucer, tea spilled. Oh dear, she whispered. Clumsy. Perfect. The assessor arrived at 10:15, Ms. Rivera, from Cedar Pines, pleasant, professional, clipboard in hand. Evelyn played her part flawlessly. She forgot her daughter-in-law's name. Is it Sarah? No, Clara. Yes. She confused the year. Was it 2022 or before the pandemic? She struggled to recall the name of the street she'd lived on for 34 years. Maple? Elm? Something? Green? Clara guided her gently. It's fine, Mom. Just relax. Inside, Evelyn was ice. Every hesitation was calculated. Every lapse, a mirror of Clara's own fabricated logs. Ms. Rivera took notes, asked memory questions. Evelyn answered just wrong enough, off by 1 digit, 1 letter, plausible, human, manipulable. Then the test. Mrs. Shaw, I'd like you to draw a clock. Show 10 past 11. Evelyn picked up the pen. Her hand wavered. She drew the circle. Lopsided. Numbers crowded on the left. Hands pointing to 10 and 2. Deliberately flawed. Ms. Rivera's pen hovered. Clara leaned in. She used to be so precise. Such a good artist. Evelyn looked up, eyes glassy, confused. Used to? The performance ended at 11:30. Ms. Rivera packed up. We'll send the report to your family within 48 hours. As she left, Clara squeezed Evelyn's shoulder. You did great, Mom.
Soon, you'll have people looking after you all the time. Evelyn smiled faintly, nodded. Great, Mom. Soon, you'll have people looking after you all the time. Evelyn smiled faintly, nodded. The moment the door clicked shut,
She stood,
straightened her posture,
wiped the confusion from her face like dust, and walked to the study. She opened her laptop, email notification from Dr. Chen, Neurology, St. Vincent's.
subject, cognitive assessment complete.
Attached, video file, 1 hour, 28 minutes, 44 seconds. PDF report, notarized certificate.
She clicked. The video opened. Evelyn alert, articulate, sharp nailing every test.
Serial 7S, flawless. Clock drawing, perfect symmetry.
Recall, 100%. Insight, I'm participating in this evaluation because my family is attempting to misrepresent my cognitive status for financial control. Dr. Chen's report concluded, diagnosis, no neurocognitive disorder. Impression, patient exhibits exceptional cognitive reserve, strategic insight, and zero signs of impairment. Observed symptoms during external assessment appear volitional, consistent with malingering in reverse, feigning impairment. Evelyn printed it.
Then Miriam's second package arrived by courier. A thick manila envelope inside. Subpoena responses. Clara's emails to Dr. Lang, denied, to Cedar Pines, admitting she provided supporting narrative, to the family lawyer.
Bank records. 3 unauthorized transfers, $4,200, each labeled Home Care Prep.
A recording. Clara on the phone with a placement consultant. Once she's in, the POA kicks in. We'll handle the estate quietly. Evelyn sat very still.
This wasn't just about a nursing home. This was about her house, her pension, her $427,000 in savings, her freedom.
That evening, Daniel called.
Mom, he said, voice heavy with fake sorrow. The report came back. It's not good. Ms. Rivera thinks you need 24-hour supervision.
Evelyn let silence stretch.
Then softly, Daniel, do you remember what I told you when you were 10? After you broke Mr. Henderson's window with your baseball? A pause. No, Mom. I said, actions have consequences, even when no one's watching. She hung up and sent one email to Clara and Daniel. Subject, family meeting tomorrow, 2 p.m., my house. Do not be late. Do not bring lawyers. Come alone. We're going to talk about the pills, the forged letters, the money,
and the fact that I have everything on record.
She CC'd Miriam and hit send.
The trap wasn't set.
It was sprung.
They came.
Clara in a cream blouse, Daniel in a navy blazer, the uniform of concerned children. Evelyn waited in the living room. No teacups, no trembling hands. She wore her pearl earrings. Her spine was straight. On the coffee table, 3 folders. Sit, she said. They did. She opened folder 1. The white pills? She placed the pharmacist's statement between them. No prescription, no doctor's order, just sugar and starch. You gave me placebos and told everyone I was deteriorating.
Clara's smile faltered. Mom, that's not...
Folder 2. Evelyn slid it forward. Dr. Lang's real assessment, the forged letter beside it. You copied her signature. Badly. The K is looped wrong. Daniel shifted. We were just trying to protect you. Folder 3. Evelyn's voice dropped cold, clear. The $12,600 you took. The emails, the recording. She tapped the USB drive. Cedar Pines doesn't like fraud. Neither does the medical board. Or the district attorney when it involves elder financial abuse. Clara's face paled.
You wouldn't, she whispered.
Wouldn't I? Evelyn leaned forward for Tola. You told Ms. Rivera I asked who you were, but my journal, the one you didn't find, says, Clara brought soup. We watched The Crown. She cried at episode 4. That was yesterday.
She stood.
I am filing for a restraining order, freezing all joint accounts, and petitioning the court to appoint a neutral guardian ad litem, not you, not Daniel. Daniel stood, angry. You're being manipulated, Mom. That lawyer.
No, Evelyn said, calm as dawn. You manipulated me. You tried to turn my body against me. My mind, my history. She walked to the hallway,
returned with a framed photo. Her, Daniel, age 6, holding a frog. Both grinning. I loved you enough to lie awake nights when you had asthma, to drive through snowstorms for your baseball games, to sell my jewelry when you lost your job. She placed it gently on the table. But love isn't a blank check, and family isn't ownership. Then the doorbell. 2 people entered, not police.
Dr. Chen and a woman in a gray suit. Mrs. Shaw, the woman extended a card. Eleanor Ruiz, Adult Protective Services, Fraud and Exploitation Unit.
We received your evidence packet, she said. We'd like to speak with Mr. and Mrs. Shaw, separately. Clara stood, shaking. This is a private family matter.
It's not, Dr. Chen said quietly. When cognition is weaponized, it's a crime.
Evelyn didn't watch them leave with APS. She went to the kitchen, boiled water, made tea, sat by the window.
And for the first time in months, she painted.
A single iris, deep purple, strong stem.
No cracks in the vase.
That night, Miriam called.
The petitions filed. Temporary restraining order granted. Joint accounts frozen. And APS is opening a formal investigation. They're very interested in Cedar Pines' referral incentives. Turns out, Clara wasn't the first. Evelyn looked at her hands. Steady.
Alive. What about court? She asked. 6 weeks? But Evelyn? Miriam's voice softened. They'll fold once they see the video, the journal, the pattern. They'll settle or run. Evelyn thought of the iris. Some things bend, but roots hold. The courtroom was smaller than she expected.
Wood-paneled, sunlight through tall windows. No gavel theatrics, just a stern judge. Weary eyes and a stack of evidence 3 inches thick. Clara and Daniel sat stiffly, lawyer beside them.
Evelyn alone, save for Miriam, wore emerald green. She didn't speak, not yet.
First, Dr. Lang testified.
Then Dr. Chen. Then the pharmacist. Then the APS investigator. Pattern of coercive control, medical gaslighting, financial diversion, all documented. Clara's lawyer tried to argue good faith concern. The judge cut him off.
Show me one objective medical finding supporting impairment.
Silence.
Then, Evelyn's turn.
She walked to the stand, placed her hand on the Bible not because she was religious, but because it felt like anchoring herself in truth. She didn't rage, didn't cry, she testified. I taught my son to ride a bike without training wheels. I held his hand during his first breakup. I believed in him long after he stopped believing in me. She looked at Daniel, not with anger, but sorrow. You didn't see an illness, Daniel. You saw an opportunity, a house, a pension, a life without responsibility. Then to Clara. You thought silence meant surrender. That age meant erasure. But dignity isn't borrowed. It's built. And mine?
She touched her chest. It's still here.
She presented her final exhibit, a 12-minute montage.
Evelyn painting, hands steady,
Walking, stride confident. Teaching watercolor students, laughing. Her journal entries. Clara said I forgot her birthday. I remembered. I just didn't celebrate liars. The real clock drawing perfect. And audio. Clara's own voice. Once she's in, the POA kicks in. The judge removed her glasses. Mrs. Shaw, thank you. She turned to Daniel and Clara. The court finds clear and convincing evidence of elder abuse, fraud, and attempted undue influence. Petition for guardianship is denied. Restraining order made permanent. All financial controls restored to Mrs. Shaw, and I strongly suggest you retain counsel for criminal proceedings. Outside, cameras flashed. Evelyn didn't stop. She walked to her car, drove to the community center, pushed open the door to room 3. 20 faces turned. Her watercolor group. They stood. No words. Just applause. Soft, fierce, enduring. 3 months later, Evelyn's new apartment overlooks the river. Sunlight floods the studio nook. Her paintings hang in a local gallery. Resilience series. Irises, oaks, rivers cutting through stone. She volunteers with Elder Justice Alliance, teaching others to spot medical gaslighting. Her phone rings. Not Clara, not Daniel. Her granddaughter. Nana, can you help me mix cerulean and burnt sienna? Evelyn grins. Of course, love. Meet me at the studio. I'll bring the tea. She hangs up.
walks to the window.
Below, a young woman struggles with grocery bags. Evelyn grabs her coat, runs downstairs, helps her carry them. As they part, the woman says, "Thank you. You're so kind." Evelyn smiles. "No, dear, I'm just here." And she is. Not fragile, not fading,